today's tutorial, I'm showing you all about the midi haircut, the perfect vintage haircut, how to set it, how to style it, and just how important this really is. Before we begin, I wanted to show you just how my hair looks with this haircut when I haven't done anything to it. This is not a wash and wear haircut. As you can see, my hair actually has a natural wave to it, which makes a very big difference to the success of setting this style. You'll see that with the layers cut in here, it comes out quite shaggy if you just let it be. You can straighten it, but you can still see that. See here, the natural wave in the hair? This is what helps me have such a great set at the end of this. If you don't have natural curl in your hair, it won't work as well. If you've done much research into vintage haircuts, you'd be familiar with this particular illustration. The midi is a type of cut that's cut in 4 inches of length, radiating out from the head. The length can be changed depending on the finished length you want for your hair. My haircut is a 6-inch length that radiates out from these parts. If your hairdresser is not a precision haircutter, you will not be able to get this finished effect. It's quite simple, but it is a skill. Setting doesn't require a lot of complex equipment. This is all you'll need. Setting lotion, some bobby pins or pin curl clips, and your tail comb. That's it. Nice and simple. Once you've determined where you'd like to part your hair, use your tail comb to create your sections. I like to start at the top section and then work my way down. Never start setting from the bottom of your hair and work your way up, as the hair will get into the way. Now that I've created this side part, which is where I'll be finishing the part of my hair once I've styled it, I'm going to take my setting lotion and spray that right through the hair. Don't use too much setting lotion because we don't want the finished effect to be too crunchy or too knotty. It's just enough to make the hair slightly damp and a little bit tacky to enable us to roll the pin curls effectively. You'll notice that when I'm taking this section, it's about 1.5 inches deep and that the hair is flat or what we call ribboned. I've determined that I'd like to use 2 fingers to do this pin curl to make it a slightly larger curl, the same as if you were using a jumbo roller. I keep the hair ribboned and flat, winding that around the fingers, using the thumb to keep it in place and the tail of the tail comb to wind that tail under the thumb. This helps me hold that tail in place so that we can pin the pin curl clip in securely. If those tails are sticking out, you will end up with really messy ends to the end of your set. This is a barrel pin curl, where the pin curl is going on the inside of the barrel rather than sitting flat to the head. This allows me to have a lot more volume to the finished do. You'll see that I'm taking the next section directly behind the first pin curl, working the top section of the hair in that part. I'm moving this across to the next piece. You can see the depth of the piece I'm taking here. If your pin curl has taken too little hair, it will become too frizzy. If you take too much, you won't get enough of a curl for the finished effect. I find about 1 inch to 1.5 inches square for each pin curl is a really good, effective method to work with my thick hair. Make sure that those pin curl clips keep the tails tucked in neatly. We'll then continue this around both sides and the back of the hair. You can see here how blunt the ends are in this midi cut layer. This helps it roll perfectly for the pin curls. Working behind your own head can be a little bit tricky, and I find most people discover it's easier if you're not trying to look in the mirror. It's simply a matter of doing this by braille and getting your hands to behave for you. Now that all your pin curls are in place, we're going to need to cover them and allow plenty of time for them to actually set. I've got a triangle shape cotton scarf here that I've made specifically for this purpose. I simply tie this around, as you'll see, to make sure that the wind doesn't get into my pin curls while I'm heading out to do any groceries or errands around the house. It's quite simple really, it's just a matter of knotting it above the head, making sure it's secure and tight with all the curls tucked in, and then those little rabbit ears get tucked in too. Now that all your pin curls are tucked in under your scarf, just leave them to set. Ideally, leave them for a minimum of 1 hour or until they are completely dry. And then, voila! Time to take them out and see what happens. Here's one I prepared earlier. Carefully taking those pin curl clips out, don't want them to snag in the hair, you'll see just how wild pin curls actually are when you finish taking them out. Now, a lot of people get stuck at that point not knowing what to do. It's actually down to the comb out, as you'll see here. I like to add a little bit more volume to the crown with a little bit of back combing underneath, but simply it's about shaping those curls into the shape that you want. I'm using a bit of serum here from Umberto Eco, or you could also use some Moroccan oil or other types of smoothing serums. You'll be working those curls around your hand and combing other sections into place to make them smooth. There are so many ways that you can shape this pin curl set, but the most important thing is in smoothing those curls, in working them together. You should turn out at the end of your pin curl set with wild and crazy curls. These can then be moved into all kinds of sets, as you've seen at the beginning of this video. This is the exact same set that I've used to achieve all of those looks. They're quite different, it's just down to the brush out. You can see here that I'm working with this set to make sure that the base is nice and smooth and then tucking it behind the ear to give it a cuter look. I'm finishing these off with some Cedarl Extra Firm hairspray. I do love this one. Putting that into the front of the fringe to give it a bit more lift and that a la Marilyn kind of flick that we're often seeing. A little bit to the bottom to make sure that it doesn't fly away. And then, done. My perfect 1950s hair set for my Middy cut. Remember how many ways this exact set can be styled. Like this. Like this. Like this, and even, as you've seen in the title sequence, like this. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe to this channel for more vintage and retro goodness and visit superkawaiimama.com.au.